Apple may be nearing production for its M5 MacBooks. EA is reportedly planning to go private with help from Silver Lake and Saudi Arabia. And Meta wants to become the Android of robotics. It's Monday, September 29th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, the latest Apple silicon is about to hit the assembly lines. In the latest Power On newsletter, Gurman said that Apple is nearing mass production of its next MacBook Pros, MacBook Airs, and 2 new Mac monitors. Gurman added that these upgraded products are scheduled for release sometime between the end of this year and the first quarter of next year. Now, earlier this year, Gurman noted that Apple was expected to start production on the M5 MacBook Pro during the second half of this year. All signs seemed to point toward Apple following its typical release schedule, where the latest MacBook Pro makes its fall debut, followed by the reveal of the upgraded MacBook Air in the spring. However, Gurman previously mentioned in a July edition of his newsletter that Apple is now internally targeting a launch early next year for the MacBook Pro instead. Beyond the upcoming MacBooks, we're expecting one of the 2 Mac monitors to be the upgraded Studio Display. First released in March of 2022, Apple's Studio Display could use a refresh, which some rumors say will include a mini LED display along with overall improvements to brightness and color quality. Electronic Arts is close to reaching a $50 billion deal that will turn it into a privately held company. That's according to a report in the Wall Street Journal. The video game company filed for an IPO way back in 1990, and it has been public ever since. But now, a group of investors are in talks with the company to take it private. Those investors reportedly include private equity firm Silver Lake, Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, and Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners, whose largest source of funding is also Saudi's PIF. It's worth noting that EA's shares are already tied to major financial organizations, even though it is publicly traded, with Saudi's PIF owning almost 10% of the company. As Reuters noted, analysts believe Saudi Arabia is interested in buying out EA due to its annual release of popular sports titles, including Madden and NHL, which makes for predictable earnings. Saudi Arabia has made several major investments in the video gaming industry overall as part of its efforts to prepare for a post-oil economy. In addition to its investment in EA, it also purchased stakes in Take-Two Interactive, Activision Blizzard, Nintendo, and the Embracer Group. Back in March, Pokemon Go maker Niantic sold its gaming division to a Saudi-owned company as well. Unlike PIF and Kushner's Affinity Partners, Silver Lake does not have a huge stake in EA at the moment and does not have notable gaming investments other than its stake in Unity. Bloomberg and the Financial Times reported that the company could announce the buyout as soon as next week, but details could change since nothing has been finalized yet. If the $50 billion deal does push through, it will become the biggest leveraged buyout of all time. Assuming it can turn its Project Orion augmented reality glasses into a real product people actually can buy, Meta apparently wants to get into robots next. That's according to Sources Alex Heath, who spoke to Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth and reports that much like Apple, Google, and Tesla, Meta is researching robotics. Unlike those other companies, though, Meta apparently is not all that focused on competing in hardware. It has a MetaBot in the works, but its real goal is to create software that other companies can license, much like Google does with Android. Bosworth said that software is the bottleneck, and the hope is that the combined powers of Meta's robotics team, led by Mark Whitten, the former CEO of Cruise, and its highly publicized superintelligence labs, can produce a solution, and that work apparently starts with the development of a world model that can help a robot do the software simulation required to animate a dexterous hand, but will presumably extend to more complicated movements and tasks down the road. In February of this year, Meta was reportedly looking at building a robot that could handle household chores like cleaning or folding laundry. Given how early everything sounds, that's likely a long way off. Meta is not alone in pursuing robotics. Apple is reportedly working on its own home robots, starting with a table-mounted arm with a display. Tesla has regularly demoed versions of its Optimus robot to the public, though often in highly controlled scenarios. Meta has yet to realize its goal of usurping the smartphone with AR glasses. Whether or not it does, it sounds like robots will be the thing it burns money on next. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Jackson Chen, Mariella Moon, and Ian Carlos Campbell, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I will be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.